Cowboys took their checks to the Carolinas and cashed in at Bank of America Stadium. 33-10 the final, their first win on the road in the Carolinas since 2012. Welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm Nicole Hutchison. The Dallas Cowboys, they hit the win. They left Carolina with all smiles. Jerry Jones announced Hall of Fame coach Jimmy Johnson. He'll be inducted into the Ring of Honor in December. And then the Dallas Cowboys followed up with their first road win since mid-October. A close ball game in the first half, with the Cowboys getting a few freebies. We like freebies. 10 of the Cowboys' 17 first-half points came from the help of the Panthers' penalties. But good teams respond when adversity rises. The Cowboys unloaded in the fourth quarter with a complete effort from all three phases, led by Tony Pollard's big run, a Daron Bland special, and this Dallas pass rush absolutely dominating. Cowboys get their sixth win by 20-plus points this season, the most by the Cowboys since 1978.
I feel like we came here and did what we needed to do. Obviously, it was important to get the seventh win. We won by 3 scores, so I was glad to get some guys some playing time in the fourth quarter. So, so overall, it was a healthy victory for us.
Every week is about handling business, coming in, getting the win. Obviously, I understood the challenge in this week. Honestly, not even looking forward to Thanksgiving yet. It was about focusing where we were. If you look on paper, right, a lesser opponent, but we knew we had to come in noon start, something that we don't do too often. So had to get going fast and not take them lightly, and keep the focus high. And got the job done. To say it was as clean and to say that we did exactly what we wanted to do, I can't say that. Got to go look at the film, but you'll take the win any way we can get it. It was a good win. Got to heighten the focus a little bit. I know on our side of the ball, whether it be a 12 o'clock game, whether it be the lesser opponent, who knows. But it was communicated. It was communicated throughout the game. Guys answered that challenge and played better, and went and got the dub. And when we needed to make plays, they made it a 7-point game. Needed to convert third downs. Needed to score. We went and did that and answered. Defense made it a bigger lead there, and from there we're able to finish it off.
Penalties were a reason for the road struggles, averaging 9 per road game, but the Cowboys only had 5. They played with discipline, and everything fell into place for Dallas. But when we come back, Savannah Humoller joins her with her players of the game. We'll be right back.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys take down the Carolina Panthers in Week 11, 33-10 the final, with Daron Bland, second-year guy, already making a huge impact. He tied the NFL record of 4 pick-sixes in a season. We caught up with him post-game. Here's Kyle Yeomans one-on-one with Daron Bland.
Daron Bland joins us now with his 4th pick-six of the season, his 6th interception of the campaign. Daron, just take us through that play and what you saw on the pick-six.
I seen the receiver go on under. I had a catch up, and once I caught up and I turned and seen the ball, I was like, I got to get this one. And it's all because I only had 3 targets, so I got to get this one. And then once I felt like he didn't touch me when I got up, I was like, oh, I got to go.
Yeah, you rolled and then got off to the races from there. But Daron, whenever it comes to a play like that, and like you said, you only had the 3 targets, you had to take advantage of that opportunity. Is there going to come a time where you feel like opponents won't test you on the boundary like that anymore?
Definitely, you always want to feel that. When you're making plays and getting opportunities like that, they're going to try to get away from you or try to minimize how many targets they come to your side. So.
Well, what has been the biggest part of your game during this stretch whenever you've put together these 4 pick-sixes and really played the best ball of your career? I mean, what has been the key to having that sort of success?
Just taking it day by day, and never getting too high, never getting too low. That's it.
How much is this defense feeding off of one another at this point?
Oh, that's the best thing about our defense. We bring each one of us bring each other energy. So every time anyone make a play, we're feeding off the energy.
Who's the guy who you feed off of the most and you kind of have that energy back and forth with?
Oh, I get that energy for everybody. I'll say most of the DBs, but yeah, it's kind of everybody.
Now, what's the goal continuing to move forward? You have the 4 pick sixes. You're tied for the NFL record in the single season. I mean, how quickly can we see number 5 here?
Yeah, that's the next goal. So we're gonna see. And then by next week we can get it.
And to get the win too, right?
Yeah, definitely always, always.
Daron Bland making the transition to playing outside corner looked so easy. I've got Savannah Humoller to join me with her players of the game, and I'm sure I already know who your first player of the game will be defensively, right?
Oh, yeah, we have to kick it off with defense, of course, with the man that everyone is talking about, Daron Bland. He had his 4th pick 6 of the season, the most by any NFL player in his first 2 seasons, a 31-yarder right into the end zone. Check it out.
Here's Bryce Young. He's got time here, and he throws, and it's intercepted. It's Daron Bland again. Bland looking for another pick 6, and he's got it. It's his 4th of the year.
With the pick 6, Bland has tied an NFL record on Sunday held by Eric Allen in 1993, Jim Kearney in 1972, and Ken Houston in 1971. Bland spoke to media after the game about tying the record. He said now he wants to go and break it. He had a career total of 11 interceptions since 2022, and get this, he is tied for 2nd in touchdowns on the Dallas Cowboys behind CeeDee Lamb. I think there's a lot more to come this season from Bland. So we're gonna see now with offense. Tony Pollard gets my offensive player of the game. His explosive touchdown in the 4th quarter bulldozed over 4 defenders. Take a look.
He made his Carolina debut against the Bears last week. Checks in a corner. Here the Cowboys run. Big hole. Pollard right up the middle. Penalty flag near the goal line. Is he in? He is. But let's see what the penalty is first. Hang on.
Pollard had a total of 12 carries and 61 yards. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry, his 2nd highest rushing average of the season. And Nicole, we're going into this next game on Thursday, Thanksgiving, a 10.5-point favorite. Yeah. So things are looking up right now.
Oh yeah, hopefully they can get it done. I've got the confidence that this team can get it done. They're playing at their all-time best, and defensively, offensively, you're seeing them, that versatility kind of kick in and that run game be effective. The weapons are getting involved. Progression. I'm loving the way this team is playing, but we're here to break down that game and that win right after the break right here on Cowboys Flashback. Make sure to stick with us.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys absolutely dismantling the Carolina Panthers in Week 11 to move to 7-3 in the season. Not a big statistical game from Dak Prescott, but he was clean and threw for 2 touchdown passes. One to CeeDee Lamb, who became the 2nd fastest Cowboy to reach 1,000 receiving yards in a season in 10 games. One also to Luke Schoonmaker, who made his first touchdown since Week 2. The run game came alive with Tony Pollard, reminding everyone of his angry running ability and scoring his first touchdown since Week 1. The offensive line deserves their flowers. Back-to-back games, they kept Dak Prescott untouched, and the run game looks to be back and effective.
Yeah, just being resilient. You know, the team that we are. Had a slow start to the first half. We came out second half with better energy, better execution, and we picked it up.
Now that those 5 guys up front are starting to get a lot of reps together and stack them now, how is it helping the run game?
I mean, that's doing everything. Just those guys getting on the same page, figuring each other out, how they block things, and how they like to do things, just from working to the down, the D tackles to the backers and the double teams and things like that. So it's big getting that momentum and that rhythm.
Man, that's good. Shows the versatility. Happy for the backs. TP got in the box again. It's been a while. But I know it's always a good feeling, to cherish with your brothers and all the hard work paying off.
Talk us through your touchdown pass, what you saw, how y'all scored.
They were in cover 0, touchdown.
That easy, huh?
Yes.
You're over 1,000 yards now, 10 games in. I know we've reflected a lot on your accomplishments so far this season. How does that feel? What does that mean?
Feels great. Another accomplishment behind us. You know, I mean, we obviously still working, still focusing on what we got next, and see you again on Thursday.
History made for Daron Bland, tying the NFL record in pick sixes in a season with 4. But this Cowboys pass rush had their way with Bryce Young. Micah Parsons set a career-high 3 sacks after being silenced in Week 10 against the Giants. Young was sacked 6 times Sunday, and when he wasn't sacked, they kept him inside the pocket. The Cowboys held the Panthers to 33% on 3rd down, 187 total yards, and still the only team in the NFL to hold a top running back and wide receiver under 100 yards. Thanksgiving is 4 days away, but the Dogs came to feast early.
Believing in our game plan, trusting in Q, making the calls, and going out there and execute. And Michael did a great job today executing.
And, you know, with me moving around and do the things that I do, it definitely draws more attention. And in the second half, there's a lot more double teams, you know, a lot more chips and things like that. So, you know, it's just being impactful. That's when everybody else eats, as we saw. So I think, you know, when I do that, it just sets the tone for the game.
Your thoughts on Bland's
special. I mean, we've seen it from one player who's out this year who used to do stuff like that. And seeing him come into his own is truly special, remarkable. He's having a defensive player of the year. I mean, he should be a lock for all pro. I mean, it shouldn't be a question for the accolades. He should be picking up. He's on a remarkable, unbelievable run right now. Since I've been here, I only saw one other guy do that. So it'll be fun to see how he finishes this year.
How much do you think you guys are helping each other with you obviously rushing the passer and then him on the back end?
Oh, I mean, it all works together. I mean, and that's the conversations that you guys asked early in the week. I'm like, man, the ball's coming out early. You're going to have a chance to jump. We're running pretty fast. I think we got a key on the snap and things like that. And there's opportunities. And DB took his op and made a play. So that's kind of the feedback. You know, when we know we're getting after a team, our quarterback's kind of scared. He might have been getting the ball off in 1 second in the second half. Everything's flat, out route, things like that. I'm like, yo, take a shot. You got an opportunity there, and he made the most of his opportunity.
This Cowboys team is playing at a very high level right now. Cowboys legend joins the show to break down that game and that win. Right after the break, you're watching Cowboys Flashback. We'll be right back.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys easily rising as one of the NFL's best, sitting at 7-3 in the season after the big win in Week 11 against the Panthers, now 5th in the NFC. I don't know about y'all, but this is some good news for us. But this Dallas Cowboys, we talk about this offense, Texas West Coast offense, and how the passing game has set up the run game a little bit, as we've seen. But now you're starting to see that run game be more effective. Mike McCarthy's getting creative in that run game. What are you liking it so far from them?
You know, I like that we actually took the Texas coast out to the East Coast, and we're going all up and down that thing. We're going to take over the places because when you have creativity like this, when you have you're trying to establish your running game, they're loading the box, they're worried about TP. But no. We can do different things. We have different runners, 5 or 6 runners running the ball, and we got real creative with how we use CeeDee Lamb in the running game. So I'd like to be able to show you this clip because it's very interesting because what you can't tell a lot of times is that's CeeDee Lamb who's in the backfield. Typically, you were thinking that he is going to go out in motion, but that is not what happens. He actually goes in motion out, and that forces these guys to move over a little bit at a time, right? So what does it do? It leaves CeeDee Lamb in the backfield by himself. Now that's totally different. But he's such a fast runner, you can hand him the ball. They run what's called an outside zone to the left here. There's short edge on the corner. You can see we got a man on a man with double blocks. And now you just got your best playmaker with the ball without even having to throw it to him. Just let him make people miss and gain 8 yards on a big run there.
Yeah, he played a little running back actually in high school, so you're seeing that he can do pretty much anything on this field. But this passing game was not abandoned, of course. We saw 7 guys get some touches. What did you see from that passing game?
Well, we have to let's stay on you said that he was running the ball, he played receiver.
Yeah.
Now you got CD down here, right, in the slot. Now, what I want you to take a look at, though, is that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rushers, okay? We actually only have 5 defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a problem. That is a problem. But what does Dak see? He sees that he needs to move Fergie back inside so that we can defend against this, so he's not getting hit in the back. So you can see the slight little motion over, pulls him back inside. Now we got 6 on 6. They're changing the route play down here. We run what's called a crash 7. Brandon Cooks goes, takes his guy out of the way. We run to the corner route. Great timing, great throw. Our guy's better than yours. Touchdown.
I don't know if we can run this back a little bit because this is some of the similar play that the Eagles or the Cowboys ran against the Eagles. A little rub route here. You see Cooks and CD, but they ran it on both sides of the field. That's when Luke Schoonmaker actually came up short on the goal line. So you're loving how those guys, how Mike McCarthy is really being creative in his play calling, but also credit to the offensive line for good pass protection.
Absolutely. They're doing a terrific job. Speaking of line, I think we need to talk about
his defensive line.
Oh, well, no, let's not do that yet, right? Because I need to talk about Brandon Cooks first because he is something special here on this play. This is Brandon Cooks right here.
Can't leave Cooks out.
Yeah, that's right. Well, because he's been doing a lot of great things, right? And so this is another creative play because you're actually going to bring CD Lamb again, who's been getting the ball around to become a decoy. You actually think that typically that Cooks would come out here, block the corner, but he fakes him out and actually goes up the field, okay? And he finds a hole in this. So the motion by CD Lamb gets guys moving over. If you watch Dak's eyes, he actually looks over here like he's gonna throw it to CD. No, sir, let me pull it back down. Laser shot to Brandon Cooks, the guy who can spread and get up the field very, very quickly if you leave him too much space.
Yeah, Dak Prescott getting the quick release. You're seeing Cooks, all of those guys get involved. But this defense, can't say enough. They were the star of the show yesterday, especially this pass rush.
You know, I love me some defense, and especially when you're getting after it. So I wanted to talk about this play because you can see we got Big D-Law on the screen right now.
Yeah.
This is an amazing play. This is what we call a TT stunt, tackle and tackle, all right? When you watch this, you're going to see him actually go in and pin this guy, right? And then roll up into the quarterback while Odigizua comes around. So you got both inside guys. You see D-Law make his move. He actually goes right at the center to open up Odigizua on the rush, but with the pick and roll. Look at Lawrence just standing there, just looking at my guy Bryce Young. Oh man, right in the face. That's never a good sight when you got D-Law just right there on you. So another great play, great design. Big McCarthy, Coach Dirty to be able to make things happen in the interior of the defensive line.
6 sacks for this Cowboys defense against Bryce Young. He saw a lot of Cowboys in his face on Sunday. But when we come back, we've got more. We're going to wrap things up right here on Cowboys Flashback.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, powered by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company.
10 games down in the 2023 season with 7 more to go, and the Dallas Cowboys already have 7 wins on their plate after beating up on the Panthers 33-10, but there's no time to dwell on this win, though. It's a short week, and the Cowboys are back at it on Thursday against the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys are 3-1 against Washington in the last 2 years, but they're looking to wipe that bad taste out of their mouth from last January when the Cowboys took a 26-6 beating in Washington. But listen, they're back in AT&T Stadium looking to also continue their undefeated dominance at home. We'll see if the boys can get it done. I'm confident they can get it done. 3:30 kickoff in Arlington. We will see you there Thanksgiving Day.